Okay, so I guess since we're already talking about we're talking about Pulsechain launch. Obviously, Richard Hart had the tweet. He was talking about, first of all, I would want you to. He said basically, Team A and B are working to see which one would get to launch first, and he said
Yeah.
PulseX is doing very well. That was very interesting to me because he never talks about Bullchain launch. At least since it didn't launch in May, he very rarely talks about it. Now he's talking about it. So I guess if you
Right.
could first shed light on what the Team A and B thing is as a software engineer, as a security engineer, and then you could tell us what that means in terms of when the launch will happen. If you have a time frame you have in mind that in which you think it would launch in.
Well, I think Team A and B, not to be confused with Red Team and Blue Team, because Red Team and Blue Team it actually comes from a security concept of having someone attack a network and having someone try to defend or try to understand how the attack succeeded and how to fix the attack. So that's Red Team versus Blue Team. Kind of, skipping over a lot of details. That's kind of how it works in the industry. So
you're talking to a fourth grader. You're talking to a fourth grader.
It's like you got somebody attacking and someone trying to learn how to stop the attack that way. And that was all the BSC stuff. So all that's gone away. All the BSC bugs, just throw them away because they don't exist anymore because we're not doing that. We're doing ETH 2.0. So when that happened, I was kind of, Richard talked about, oh, there's not going to be any extra delays, all that stuff. And my first thought was, you just switched the entire network. How? Not that we have a timeline, not that we know not that we know where the roadmap is, and if you change something, not that we'd even know about it, but like that's not no work. There's work to be done. But I thought about it for a while, and then I heard him talk some more about it, and I thought, okay, I'm pretty sure Richard's been planning this. He for months now. He knew ETH 2.0. Maybe in mid-May he was like, oh, I don't know if we're gonna make it or not. I don't know if we're gonna be to market.
That was the pivot. That's why I didn't launch, because he's like, we're doing ETH 2.0.
Well, that's one possibility too, I guess. But I think even back then he saw this coming, and he said, okay. And I'm speculating here. Like I imagine he was like, okay, let's let it launch. If it fails, we know what to do. If it succeeds, maybe we'll just fork it because all this BSC stuff is causing all these delays and problems and all this stuff. So in that way, it's kind of bullish on the launch because now we know there's no security problems to take care of. There's no testing really needs to be done. ETH 2.0 they've been testing it. What's it been, a few weeks now? Seems fine. So, and if there is some like crazy bug that comes out, we know ETH 2.0 is going to fix it. We're going to take that patch. Going to be fine. So I think that when the other day when he said the red and blue team or the A and B team, that's something he's had for a while. Like that's something that, it sounds like we joke about the varsity and junior varsity we have, but honestly, I'm not even sure if it's JV and varsity. I think it's more like team A and team B, like literally two teams of competent developers. I mean, maybe one's more senior than the other, whatever, but they are competing on maybe, they probably have a code base. They forked it. They're competing on different features, different ways to go. But I think they're all striving towards the same goal of, okay, maybe there's a decision. Hey, we're going to go this way or we're going to go this way. And, we don't need everyone to work on one way. We want one of you to finish. This is how we incentivize you. Maybe, you get extra tokens or whatever. Not that Richard would ever pay anybody for anything.
No expectations.
Yeah, no expectations, but maybe you get a cool prize if you get this thing to market quicker. So that sounds like what's happening now. And when he said that the other day, I'm not gonna lie, it did give me kind of a tingling feeling of like, whoa, maybe there is a sense of urgency. Maybe Hex Birthday 3 is coming up. Maybe, bottom bear market's coming up. Maybe documentary is ready. I mean, I believe it's ready. That's just what I believe it's ready, and they're just waiting on Richard to say it's go time. So all the FUD going around, maybe he does have a sense of urgency now, especially since the pivot. He knows a lot of people were kind of, the air went out of the room for a minute of like, oh God, another, delay possibly. So I think he does have more of a sense of urgency than he had, last month or the month before. And now he knows there's a network that we're forking that doesn't have all these bugs too. He's pretty confident in that. So when it launches, I try. There's nothing I can control about it, and everything in life I try to not worry about things I can't control. So I keep saying January in my own mind. But when we get to December and it's not launched, I'll be like, all right, March must be March then. I'll just keep pushing it out because I don't want to like worry about it when nothing I can do.